Well, Oscar should be finished with his potion, so we could go see about that.
Hmm.
Sounds good. Don't really got much else to do with everybody contacting one another.
I also need to speak to the druid, as she will likely want to know that we intend to use her grove.
Well, shall we? Well, at least you go do that now.
I can, but I would like a confirmation on our overall plan. I mean, are we just going for Oscar? Is there anything else we need to have done in the city?
I'd like to make a quick stop near the Buckle Down Road. I know none of you wish to work with the Queensmen, but due to us saving one of their members, they did offer us a boon of sorts. So,
To be clear, I'm not technically opposed to working. I just have a great deal of reservation.
Either way, getting that boon might prove beneficial to
Indeed.
us moving throughout the city.
We also still need to discover the source of the corruption and the miasma. Hello.
Yep.
Hello. Hello? Yeah, we're currently planning on what to do with regards to the time between now and the meeting.
Yep. So far we got going to Oscar and the Buckle Down Rogue in the city, as well as the Druid, about their grove.
Yes, and also if there's anything we could potentially find that might help us discover more about this haze, that would be useful.
If you want to learn more about the haze, probably the best people to ask would be Silver Order.
Unlikely. They don't seem to be curious about its origin, merely what they've seen it do and that they don't like it and want it gone. I can say I blame them for that, but I'm here specifically to learn more about it. So I unfortunately cannot rely upon them. And the Falling Fire, while knowing more, I have hidden much of what they know behind ritual and doctrine.
The only group that might know more about its origin are the Little Lanterns there.
They might know something.
I mean, they are made up of a bunch of old city guards at the core, so...
I suppose we could go to their camp in the city and see if we can't discover more.
Well, not their camp. I don't believe...
Isn't that where a good portion of their force currently is?
That's where a good portion of the forces are, yes, but... We're not going to get much information from them, since, well... we're currently tackling the biggest issue, the wars with them.
I mean, yes, but they're also probably concerned about other things and might be interested in sharing information on those things. It's either that or just wander about the city.
We can even ask the rats. The rats of the city. They may not be smart.
You might know a thing or two, but
And just to note that Sable is being very sarcastic when he's saying, ask the rats.
yeah. You might know a thing or two, but I don't know if they would have the understanding enough to notice anything that would actually be useful.
Either way. We have at least a couple destinations. Trislana, do you have any other suggestions?
Not really.
Bitchka?
Particularly, though I think it's wise we don't try and extend ourselves too far and waste our time.
Well, there's also the clock tower. If indeed that is one of the safe zones, and assuming it is either clear or can be cleared, it could offer us a reprieve within the inner city that's, well, would buy us some time within the city limits.
We can tackle
Oh.
that another day. I'd rather keep ready to be able to get back so we can monitor the meeting.
Very well.
Plus, I have a sneaking suspicion the minute we do find out what's in there, we're gonna have another problem other than the dwarves with these factions.
And why would you think that?
Each of these factions is able. We have a map of Dragonheim, right? But we sort of have like a rough idea of where like each faction's location is, right?
We know the Hooded Lanterns, the Fallen Flame, we know the general area of the Queen's Men, and we know a potential place for the Silver Order.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
Well, not even just that. I was more so talking about Camp Dawn. Yeah. So say we'll like roll out the map and point to each location. As you can see here, the garrison for the Hooded Lanterns are there. Fallen Fire there. Silver Order there. We don't even know where the Queen's Men are located out of yet. But I believe I was speaking to them, they said, Outer City. What is the most central point in the city that is not the Queen's Garden?
It would probably be the clock tower, like I said.
Exactly. Meaning that each of those factions will be vying for a more centralized position.
I agree. One of the reasons I want to take and clear it is that we might be able to utilize that as a bargaining chip.
Or bring more unwanted discourse. But I agree
If-
with Trislana. Let's leave it for another day.
If any one of them has it, then it will cause discourse. However, if we have it, we can use that as a means of negotiation. However, if none of you wish to go that far into the city, I will not blame you. So that will extend the amount of time we have considerably within the city limits overall, as we will have to go all the way to Oscar, then circle all the way around to where you wish to go.
The outer city is much easier to traverse than going through the inner city.
Yes, but as we've just experienced, duration is a factor.
Duration, yes. It's quicker
And that
though,
is
'cause we have our horses. And you have, as pointed out, wings.
Which allows me to flee. Not something I'm particularly wanting to do on the usual.
Listen,
Either way,
Oscar will let
Yeah.
us near at least the windmill and Fort Dawn if we wish to go all the way out there. If we're worried about staying too long in the city, we can use a day, or at least spend the night outside of the city.
exactly.
And even then, there are designated places where we may not recover, but will not be further contaminated.
Yes, but the only other area that might be open would be that clock tower that we know of currently.
The fucking gate we always go through. We
They
spent
also made.
there,
You're right.
and while we did not recover, we did not further get contaminated.
But they also made it clear they would not extend that courtesy to us until the issue with the dwarves is resolved.
That is the garrison. The gate
The garrison. I meant Shepherd's Gate.
And to be fair, this was before Trismera joined us.
I'm unfamiliar with this spot then.
It's the gate we always go through. It's patrolled by the Hood of Lanterns.
I didn't know it was a safe
Rest
zone.
there once.
It's not really a safe zone. It's just a good enough place where we have protection from the creatures of Drakenheim.
Very well then.
Just a place we can. I think Pandora went straight up left, didn't she?
Yeah, I'll pop in when I'm ready. Appreciate that.
Anyway, let's get to Oscar's mansion, and then we'll see where we need to go from there.
Very well.
Indeed. Okay, so let's see. We got chapel, time, Shepherd's Gate. Yep.
Well, Pandora just up and left, so it's not really a reliable way to pop in and say, hey, we're going somewhere, but
Well, I don't know where she would have
yeah.
played.
That's up to
That'll be up
Fendi.
to Threndy.
Yeah.
Yeah, if so, my idea was basically that Pandora was gonna have crud. Forgot. Was gonna have the little one following Triss around, since Triss was the one who was trying hardest to find Pandora, and use that to just stay away for a while. When the conversation turned to leaving town, Oh, I guess Pandora will just be like waiting on the outskirts of town.
Okay.
Sorry, a lot of conversations happening behind me.
Hmm.
So you say your snowmate is keeping around Triss?
Yep, which will trickle your
Yep.
hat.
It'll keep the chill going. So that'll at least comfort Triss somewhat, but she will definitely be keeping keeping an eye and ear out in case Pandora pops up, and when we eventually intercept her at the entrance to the village, Triss will come up to you faster than usual with a glare and and just look at you going, "What the fuck?"
Pandora's gonna turn her gaze up at Trislana and just like very slowly raise her eyebrows. That's a funny way to start an apology.
Oi. It's about me changing the plan behind your back, isn't it?
Yes, it absolutely is. You didn't even have the respect to tell me.
To be fair, I didn't want to hear everyone else kibitzing at me about, oh, we shouldn't invite this person or that person because their goals won't line up. Why don't we just get everyone to sit the fuck down and see what happens?
Don't you think it would have been prudent to tell us that nonetheless?
No, because we would have been arguing for about an hour until one of us eventually just flipped the table and left.
Isn't that what had happened anyway?
Yes, but it happened after it was too late to change things.
What would have happened if you had had the fucking respect to tell me that you didn't feel like going with my idea was I would have thrown my hands up, called you an idiot, and let you go about your business. I blew up because after explaining that nobody was actually listening to what I thought I had to say, you didn't even have the courtesy to tell me that what I was saying didn't line up with what you wanted to do. You fucked off, did what you wanted anyways, and then came back and basically told me to my face, you're an idiot, I didn't feel like listening to you.
If it means anything, I do apologize for making you feel this way.
I'm sorry about that, Pandora. But sometimes the sick wolf needs to be put
Any
down.
apology that's followed by but is not a sorry. We can just leave.
As for myself, I do respect your opinion far more than most in this area. I may not show it, but you do have my respect and my apologies.
I appreciate that. You don't have to agree with me to respect me.
Either way, we're going to Oscar's place, and then if time allows, some belt buckle alley for Sable.
Sounds like a plan.
I mean, we
Won't
can
change
wait.
anything visibility-wise, because dark vision. Though motes,
Yeah, I mean-
motes keep it dim light.
Yeah. I mean, we can wait a
And the
little bit
town's
longer.
sleepier during the day.
Yes, but how long is it going to take us to get to the city?
It's about
And
afternoon now.
So what, it's like
Oh.
2 in the afternoon now? 3 in the Okay. So give a couple hours and wait to go, or what? Honestly, I don't know if it would actually make that much of a difference,
Let's
especially
just
since we're
get-
sitting in the outskirts.
Let's
Taking
just
the
get
outer
moving.
city, yeah. The most we'll run into is we might run into the rats, but they're not really allies, but they're not hostile to us
They
either.
respect us for what we've
Yeah.
done and what we've demonstrated.
I still don't know how I feel about rats showing respect.
Would you
I'll
rather
admit-
giant?
It's weird, but it's one less thing trying to kill us.
Exactly.
Mine as well, because it's open plain.
Yeah.
Basically, yeah, we're going to just kind of beeline.
Well, does Sable
the
reveal
outskirts.
on the map where Buckle Down Row is?
Yeah, no, I don't think I even. Okay, so it's. Oh, okay, so it's that side.
Yeah, we know it's in this area.
Okay. Okay, so it would probably prove better to go to Buckle Down Road first.
It
I
would.
have to say, your thing's closer.
Yeah. So we'll go to Buckle Down Road then.
That does bring up an interesting point that we will be passing by the dwarves. Is there anything we might want to take a look at there?
Not while the miasma's up. I say we take this outer road.
There you go. Yeah, so yeah, we'd be skirting the very edge of a massive thing of haze.
Unless we want to skirt the tree line, go off the paved roads.
Or we can wait a little longer, like I was gonna suggest.
Is there any? I forget. Is there anything that the haze specifically does during the day that?
We haven't found out yet, and given what merely breathing in this place is like, you really want to go towards that?
On one hand, no, but on the other hand, I am supposed to try and find out what I can.
Well, you got wings. I am half joking with that. Please do not.
I'll leave it for now since you requested, but I would like to at least attempt entering at some point.
I mean, that's going to be an inevitability, given how much it takes up. Like, we don't have a good, like, view of this place. I mean, a mile out, there's a cliff that gives you a pretty rough view, but, you know. It's an inevitability we're going to bump into that maelstrom.
Especially considering what potentially lies at the center of it.
Yeah.
Well then. So, what time is it now? Since we probably there's a lot to you
Be about
said
4
when
or
we left the
5.
city, so 4,
Yeah, 3 or 4.
4, 3 to 4. So then, what time is sunset? Yeah, no, we're way too early.
So what are we doing? Skirting or just
I say go
Going
to
a little
Reed
bit.
then. I say go to Reed because we're gonna take us a couple hours to get to Reed, and then on our way back into Emberwood, we can hit Buckle
And we
Down
know
Row.
we are generally allowed a 24-hour period.
Yeah.
Assuming nothing from the inner city trips over us in the outer city, we should be fine to get in and out of here before the day's end.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's worth mentioning that there's a road out of town nearby in almost every section of town, except for the one that we're planning to go to at the no, actually even the
Yeah,
road out of town following the river. So like if we start getting close to that 24-hour mark, we can just fuck out of the city, camp outside of town once we're out of the miasma, and then come back the next day.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
And given it's a 2 to 3 hour walk to get safely out of range, we could definitely cover that with war horses. Yeah. Well, here's the grand question. We want to trust that rickety bridge again?
I mean, we crossed it a couple times.
trust
haven't we?
is a very interesting word when describing anything in Drakenheim.
Well, our first expeditions here. I got a little food in my mouth, I'm sorry. Sorry. During one of our first expeditions here, when we were still trekking on foot, we crossed that wooden river before we discovered the ferryman and, tentacles.
And have we
Oh,
not
Tentacles
Okay.
that could slap us about.
crossed that river a couple times already? On
We
the
have,
horses?
but it prickles every time we cross it. But it is relatively safe. Ready to eat my words, but you know, I've got an axe with their name on it.
Yeah.
Yep, normal pace with war horses.
D10.
Hi. Sorry for running late.
Okay.
As I say, rickety.
Damn it, not this again. I guess as we're kind of traveling slowly, I'll not quite shout. I'm assuming we're not too spread out. I'm just kind of like, everybody stop moving. There's something in the water. It might be that kraken thing we encountered that first time.
Yeah, Triss will immediately halt at Vichka's word and lead in one hand. She'll draw the enchanted longsword with the other.
Pandora, who is not actually bothering to set foot on solid ground at the moment, and having been the lucky recipient of the tentacle's attention the first time, is promptly going to bolt like 40 feet up into the air above, rather than sit around and wait to be grabbed a second time.
Are you just abandoning your horse?
No, she's keeping within blasting range.
Yep.
An archer does not abandon their team, they relocate.
Lyra will pull out her sword, of course.
Ready his shield.
Yes.
Let's cautiously move away.
Yeah, as
Yep.
the silence is tense, Triss will sort of focus her hearing. See if she might be able to pick up anything generally. Question is, where is the Ghost Maiden at the moment?
When there's combat likely to begin, she's usually invisible somewhere in the midst of the party, so she can do ghostly grabby thing.
Alright, so chill is active, and I'm trying to focus with my hearing. Yes, normal roll, please.
Can I also do one, but I'm trying to discern if it sounds like somebody's rowing a boat across the water, or something's like moving through the water, like creature-wise.
Coins. I hear coins.
Does it sound magical effect, or like somebody's just kind of pouring coin onto like a table or something?
Oh, that was okay. Pandora.
Yes.
How fast can your little ghost friend go? Flying.
Almost as fast as the horses.
So who picked up on the glint? Was it Triss, Lana, or all of us? Okay. Yeah. No, he's not that greedy. No, but either way, more likely somebody pointed out the Sable. Anyways, the Sable would point to where the glint was. See, because she turns invisible. See what's up there. If there's anything, there's any danger up there, then we won't pursue it. But
Okay. Pandora will stand back with, float a little bit off the ground back with everybody else. She'll share senses with her sister, and she will send the little one invisibly and floaty off to take a peek and try to figure out what's making that clinky coin sound. Oh. Okay. I'm gonna have her float above the, like, basically as far off the ground as she can get, and just sort of keep an eye on things for the moment while Pandora takes her senses back. Well, it seems the reason that it sounds like coin is that there's a collapsed table that was full of coins. The ground beneath it looks to be like either some sort of mosaic made from delirium or something that's doing a very good job. Oh, okay. Like a geode? Okay. I mean, it looks as though it's a massive deposit of delirium. I mean, here,
Interesting.
I'll just show you. And she'll minor illusion to show them what she saw.
Outdoorsman.
Not really, no.
Sure.
No, my weakness.
Really?
Okay.
All right. So it is D6. That still checks.
Back to the worms then.
New York iron would prove useful, especially
Yeah.
for
Both dwarves and Tobias could make use of it.
yeah.
Hold on.
Oh,
Somebody hold my horse.
I'll
Here.
hold the horse.
yeah. Watch mine as well. I think we might need somebody a bit more light-footed, too.
So
Actually, scratch that. Leia, you're lighter equipped than I am. It's just a stroke. You would probably be able to haul back the ore while not threatening the floorboards.
Okay.
Pickaxe.
Oh, it's a node of meteoric iron?
yeah, no, this is a very extensive node like that.
Oh, I thought it was like chunks.
No. Yep.
Oh, that is. Okay, so second thought, since Triss figures it's gonna take a little bit to mine out, let's mark us on the map. Could
Yep.
be useful if we get another instance of,
Downtime.
let's say, personal time.
There's another alternative.
Yes?
We could potentially find a way to use this in negotiations. I could go get it if you want, like without touching the ground.
The thing is, nobody else wants New York iron, other than just the dwarves
Indeed.
and the blacksmith in town.
A place to mine it that's much closer to town and much further from hazards.
It's able like he doesn't like really like stomp on the bridge,
Whenever-
but he like taps on the
Whenever
bridge
we
and
use this,
like
whenever
creaks.
we
Oh,
So it's not-
this is not. This is not.
so it's not
Where
on the
is-
bridge.
Yeah, it's just off it. Yeah.
I thought
okay.
this is on the bridge.
No, this is
That's why I was like, "What the fuck?"
no, because he had said we made it across the bridge. When we heard the sound, we all stopped. We were, sitting around for a bit. That's when we heard the clink.
Okay,
Anyway,
that's why I was.
either way, we can note this down on the map for future use.
Yes, we'll mark it down here. Sable will just mark it on the map. Past where is marked the ferryman a meteor iron chunk. Not even chunk. A node. Alright, yeah. We haven't marked, so
Wait, we're not gonna collect the treasure or?
Yeah, that's what I was. I mean,
Yeah, we
I
should-
asked if I could fly up there,
Yeah.
and
Yeah, we should absolutely like
Co-
take the
yeah,
delirium and the.
collect the treasure in the delirium. We'll leave the iron.
Yeah, we can record the location of the iron, and
isn't
that
the delirium part of the deposit? So when we have to mine it,
Yeah, so I'll say we'll go up there. I don't.
are you sure you want to do that? Because I can get up. Me, Pandora, we could get up there without touching any of it.
I just want to take a closer look.
Very well.
Personally.
I'll fly up nearby, keep an eye on him.
More so scaling the side of the building. Just because, like, okay. So, like, how? So is the floor like covered in delirium, or is it only like that spot near the treasure? Okay. Yeah, so I can easily like go across the floor. I don't. Okay, that's what I was trying to figure out. Yeah. Okay. So yeah, say we'll go over to the table and start like grabbing some of the treasure. No, just not touching the delirium. at least at least some of the coins. I don't think I have the space for a goblet. Ah, shit. Uh, 15. Oh shit.
Yeah.
19. It's not. I don't think it's gonna like click in just because it says no active combat, but. Okay. I think the only two things up here are Pandora's sister and Tismera. So.
Hey, a lot of times Pandora's sister is just as good as Pandora.
No, I ain't complaining. I'd rather have two people up here.
It's Eliza, right?
Yes.
That's what we're
I
going.
always forget that name. And I wanted to say Isabella.
Ooh. Jesus.
How high is the ceiling? Oh, how high do the walls go?
Yeah, it's not much up there, really.
So probably like 25 feet.
Right.
Probably 15 feet.
Question: What was it? The thing that said? What was the thing saying to me? I didn't quite catch it. Okay. Oh well. Oh boy. What was who's the what? 19. Pandora is 30, but I'm assuming that's for Eliza.
Yeah, she'll be acting through Eliza like she usually does.
Yeah.
I haven't rolled for some reason. It says no combat in the scene I'm currently viewing.
All right.
Excuse me.
Come back. Your turn next.
Okay. So rude and scurrilous.
Does this lightning strike come with thunder by chance? Oh, that's spooky.
We are going to. I would like a dex save from the little being of light.
Little shit.
It's a lot on the line here. A whopping 5 damage. Better look out. Yeah, okay, that's fine. Okay. Okay. That is fine. And then Pandora will empower Eliza herself to take a swipe at this thing. Yep. Yeah. That's not super surprising, but it's better than nothing. That is what I've got to do, and then she will poof on her turn.
It is your turn.
No, okay. And that hits. Okay.
It's your turn.
Oops, I did it again.
You know, that's completely fair.
From downtown.
I think I don't think there's a whole lot I can do anyway. Can I see it like above the wall of the house or whatever? Okay. So we basically saw a flash of light, and then this floating ball of light is just up there, but otherwise we don't really know what's going on, right?
Well, Well, to be
Seems pretty
fair,
helpful.
this one just decided to give Tismera a little shock.
I guess that's fair. I will get a little bit closer to it so that I'm within range and try and just Starry Wisp it, see if something happens. But, so. Yeah. I guess I'll just kind of call out to Mara and whoever else is in the building currently and be like, what the hells did you do? And that's my turn.
Okay. So. So treasure is non-existent. Is the delirium? Did the delirium like fade as well? Like the not delirium, meteoric iron fade as well when touching the table. Alrighty. So taking that as a cue, as this was all a ruse. How high up was it again? The building where I am at. No. I'm saying like how high up could I climb? Where I'm at now, compared to everybody else. Oh, I'm confused. So, am I? So, am I high up in the air or am I down low on the ground? That I'm asking how high up the building was. Was it just a wall or was it just like a taller building? That's what I'm trying to ask. Hold on.
So it wasn't one of the floors. It's the bottom level, the ground floor.
Okay, that's what I've been trying to. That's what I'm trying to figure out. Cause that's what I was trying to figure out. Okay. In that case, or I'd kill to be like Pandora right now and face the wall. Yeah. Okay, in that case, just in case it's still nearby, disengage, and let's see, how, it's 15 there. I'm assuming like there's exit points here and here around the wall. Okay, in that case. 15 there, and then 15, that is 20. Yeah, you just see Sable running away from behind the wall, just like, ghosts! Yep, they're ghosts! No, that's my thing. Well, yeah, I can do that. Then I'll do my bonus action and dash. I ain't combating ghosts, especially ones that turn invisible, like... Yeah, no, say it was like, yep, nope, they're ghosts.
I mean, can't really do much. I think I'm gonna just. Why did I not? Thank you. Go there and I guess dodge. Just be prepared. Yeah, I guess dodge. I don't know. But yeah, because either way, I won't be able to make it there in this turn. And it's too high up. Yep, okay. That's true, and you don't make it to where, like, I could just pull it out now and be fine. I technically said I had my sword out. Nah. I'll hold on to my sword. Alright. That's my turn.
How tall is Rain at the shoulder?
I think we allowed it to where I could technically...
Right. Well, so if she was large, then I mean, aren't large creatures usually about 10 feet tall anyway?
So I, in theory, could hit the creature.
Right. But if you think about it, like, she's also on top of it. At 15 feet.
Because it would only be 5 feet away from her at that point.
I mean, either way... either way, I can't make it to there in this single turn.
You could have Rain dash.
You're right. No, that... thank you for that, by the way. I would like to do that. And so I would be able to get there. And then take 2 swings with my sword.
Oh, that's the...
Hmm. Nope.
How about not think about that too much? That's what I want to do.
Mm.
Womp womp. Do I see anything else? Is there still ore inside the house? Okay. I guess just gotta come land over here. I'm landed, so not plus 50.
Suppose, just seeing how the heights can vary very much, Lana is going to pull out her crossbow, load it up with a bolt, and hold attack for anything but her friends.
You are next.
Okay. Oh, that's weird. So there is a. Oh, gone now. There was, yeah, there was temporarily just like a wall blocking vision. Where? Yeah, gotcha. We don't know where it is. I do know where the closest things are. So I. Oh. Okay. Pandora will just sort of mutter aloud, "The Rose Theater? What is it referring to?" We're gonna have Eliza scoot her invisible little butt over there. And I'll have Pandora hold her action to drop. I think I'm still basically stuck with. Yep, still stuck with that. Cast create bonfire if the will-o-wisp shows itself. And that is all that I can do on my turn. Well, I guess I don't know how much is going to matter, but I guess we'll have Eliza dodge while she's invisible as well. No reason not to.
Yep.
I can't cast create bonfire in midair. It has to be on the ground. But I know I can't cast it on the wisp. Now flame strike that.
Oh no. Oh no.
Wow.
Don't like
Oh
that roll.
no.
And yeah.
And go ahead.
Yeah, and as the thing appears to shock, Triss will fire the ready shot. Oh no.
Well, glad I hit the first one.
Same thing. Yeah, I tried attacking the other one and failed miserably, so I'm going to try again so that it can't become invisible. Wow. Never mind. Apparently, balls of light are not Vechika's forte. No, that's it.
Yeah, so I technically didn't draw my weapon at all. I was trying to grab treasure. So, can I draw out my bow? And I'd like to do bonus action steady aim. Perfect. So, rolling with advantage. Does a 25 hit? Okay. Oh. That is 17, unless I'm not doing sneak attack. Okay. There's only this.
Hmm. She just kind of looks away, pained and grieved.
Well. Yeah, having seen the bolt go straight through and not following its arc, Triss is just gonna whisper to herself, and by extension Pandora, not getting that bolt back.
No. No, I don't imagine you are.
Yeah.
Which roll?
Sure.
Yeah, which roll?
All right, so highest thing I have a highest thing in.
High instinct.
Yeah.
Do Arcana.
Given the fact Pandora seems oddly downcast, Triss is going to take out the Telltale Heart and listen to it. See what insights it can share on those creatures.
Pandora?
Mm-hmm. I'm not the best person to have the advantage on intelligence item, just saying. Yeah.
Where the fuck did you find that, Threndy?
What the hell?
I happen to. I remember that I'd seen an image like that before, and I'm really good at Google Foo.
That is haunting, and I love it.
Yep.
Yeah,
and
no,
that's what Tismera's
great.
all right.
That's really awesome.
Yep. So yeah, that's was a haunting experience. Fitting, I suppose.
Should we look for their bodies? Maybe we can put them to rest.
Actually,
The only way to put them to rest would be to get rid of the corruption.
as a genuine question, does Tismera describe like what they look like, or just that they were spirits?
She just said the general state of like, that was a haunting experience. She doesn't seem keen on describing much.
Okay.
Whatever it was, it didn't rest easy.
That's because they were children.
Who all got hurt?
Tismera. And Nick, is that it?
It took a little bit of damage.
Yeah, we both got tickled. I mean, I only took 4.
I'm gonna. But
Uh-huh.
Hmm?
No. Jesus.
What's your constitution like?
So,
It's like when an animated armor cracks its knuckles and you're all first level.
Fortunately, concussion would actually work well for this.
why don't you tell them what happens if you get knocked out around them, Lynx?
Oh,
Well,
Yeah, if you're in death saves, they can just snuff you out.
quick thing. Tismera just said, yeah, they were basically children. So,
Yeah,
You
now
see-
she just yeah.
yeah, you see
I want
Sable, like,
to take a moment to cast aid real quick on Leah and Tismera and on Trislana. So all of you guys get an extra 10 hit points. You also heal 10 hit points so that when the spell fades, you'll still be at full health.
so while that's happening, you see Sable instantly like, drop his bow, pale, run to a corner, and you just hear retching. Yep. I mean, no, this is more so trauma from the Feywild.
Are you okay?
He just doesn't respond. He's just so retching.
Sounds like someone needs to get used to killing children.
Tismera just turns her head
Lucky.
Terminator style.
You are... Vichka with comments like that. You are lucky. You are useful.
I also forget that Tismera wasn't there for the first child we had to murder.
Oh yeah. Child, quote unquote. Long story short, there was a manipulative child that turned into a bunch of roaches, and we boiled some of the roaches into temporary health potions.
Honestly, that's just fair.
Which I might still have.
Speaking of which, how many of those
Hmm.
false life potions do we have?
I think I still have one, actually. I keep forgetting I have it.
Where is it?
1d4 plus 4 temporary. That's 5 to 8 points. That's 5 to 8 points, which is useful.
It's more useful, like, when at the levels that we got it at than it is now.
I mean,
It's not
hey,
nothing.
as somebody who's experiencing temporary health as their class feature, it's useful.
Yeah.
Anyway. I'm going to assume those ghosts were a bit more visual to you all, because I just saw light.
No, I saw the. I saw what remained of them on their death.
Oh.
I heard a couple of
Yeah.
things.
I can only imagine, but I've learned not to dig up graves for that reason. Either way, let's get moving before we dwell on that, yeah?
Yeah, just to clarify, there's no iron, there's no delirium, there's no.
Yep. Conjured up by this hellish place.
Did anybody else hear the ghost muttering about about being stuck behind a barrier?
I heard that at the end, yes.
Yeah.
Does anybody know where the Rose Theater is?
I'm not familiar with the area, so no.
Mark to keep out for then.
It might be worth doing some research on it. Maybe there's something of import there.
Perhaps.
I mean, we're passing by Shepherd's Gate. Maybe we can catch a scout.
That's not a bad idea. Shall we?
Yep, just, let's not hug the wall immediately. Don't want to brush by Shantytown. Yep.
Probably.
Or at least, I'd like to.
Yeah.
Dang. Sorry.
9999999.
Oh, sorry, I rolled the wrong thing. No.
12.
Just
Mighty 9.
Yee?
Tristana,
Hmm?
is everything alright?
Everything smells of blood.
Perhaps we should move a bit further away, and hopefully the blood will dissipate. The blood smell will dissipate.
Any sense of scent of blood to the rest of us? Right.
Yep.
I'd,
She's not wrong. We should move.
I'd like Alicia near me, please. Chill might dampen the smell.
Okay. Eliza will flounce her invisible floaty way over towards Trezana.
Mm-hmm. Is it like a normal wolf or a weird wolf? Mm-hmm. Yeah, as soon as the thoughts go fucking dark, like Plump, you could obviously do the CE approach, but as soon as they go dark, those closest to Dismera will hear her whisper, "Shut up, shut up, shut up, shut up." Oh shit.
Just Lana?
As in distracted or oh.
Just
Oh
Lana?
yeah, except with lycanthropy. Lovely.
Mm-hmm. Hey.
What's up with the nines?
I see we're channeling the Mighty Nine. Hmm. We're just passing by. That's interesting news.
It'll be good to know. We're actually in search of a landmark at the moment. Something called the Rose Theater, I believe.
I
Triss will
see.
roll out the map of Drakenheim. Could you point out where? Ah, beyond the gate.
Yep.
A barrier?
After what we've just experienced, I don't think it's nearly so foolish, nor would I as a seraph. Especially if it's the source of tragedy and horror.
Given the dead don't rest nicely, whether they're here or there, I can believe it's haunted.
Pandora manages not to laugh at the idea that we would find a haunting anything but plausible.
Well, that's what Triss is saying. That's what Triss is saying. It's like whether the undead is physical or not, 10-1, whatever it is, it's not resting easy. But Triss will finish the thought is the question is how strong is the undead? How strong is the spirit?
Considering the state of Drakenheim, I can only imagine it's enhanced compared to what it would usually be.
Deep
Interesting.
fog. Is that what you call those maelstroms? Hmm. So, the fact they still had the will to crawl themselves is impressive in its own right.
They return.
They rose. Right. It's unnerving that that seems to be the most consistent thing about the purple haze, let's call it. Of anything else, the dead rise again. Whether as corpses, as mutated bodies, or as spirits. Definitely something to bring up to the arcanists next time we get their ear.
Also, to the clerics, they might be able to offer more insight than, as it is a matter of the spiritual as well. As a spirit in this place? Interesting.
There was a member at the Black Ivory Inn. I wonder where they went.
Do you know where they went?
I'm only speculating because it seemed the Black Ivory Inn, shall we say, housed one of each member, those who linger in Drakenheim.
Indeed.
Pale
I don't think so.
Throne.
You should be careful what stories you share. Some stories hold more power than others.
But still wise knowledge to share. Ranger does not warn you of a bear because they wish the meat for themselves.
It's not what I'm referring to.
My apologies. Regardless, thank you. You've, awfully chatty this time around, but then again, given what we've done, I appreciate it.
I appreciate the sentiment, but my loyalties are still to Miklas.
And more practically,
Some of us do.
I'm actually northern born.
Miklas is not merely a fictional concept, though. She's the Archseraph of Mercy and was formerly servant under Lady Aurelia.
She is an angel. Don't let you. I can attest, she is an angel. And no, I don't know what she's talking about half the time either.
For all you know, it was the devils who caused this. Wouldn't surprise me.
Regardless, thank you for your words. And to get my thought in, Trislana will say, "While I appreciate the offer, we have done a lot of good. We have more flexibility as cells or as mercenaries rather than dedicating ourselves to a particular group."
Huh. You seem a bit perturbed. Everything all right, guardsman? I see. Perhaps I'll see you there at one point.
Can neither confirm nor deny that, but we're trying our damnedest.
Yes. I'm sure you do have a faith.
No. We're actually keeping
We're heading
you out
north.
of city.
Hmm. Hmm. And you, do you have any thoughts on the gods that you would wish to share? I respect that. Peace be upon you.
And in terms of blessings, Yes. Above the ground, it does seem to have been scorched. But we do know of a small pocket that still keeps its divine blessings. One of the old chapels out to the southern road that leads into Emberwood. Regardless,
I am sorry.
they are now, considering, even as invaders, they fight against the corruption of Drakenheim. Maybe not for Drakenheim, but they fight against whatever the hell's taken root here. Or
Tristana,
around as a pseudo-mercenary branch.
Tristana, enough. There's no point in having this conversation, and we waste time and breath. This is not a blessing. This is a duty. And you'd be wise to remember that when speaking to me. It is not my place to place a king or queen onto your throne. That is your job. My job is to make sure this corruption does not leave Drakenheim, one way or another. Peace. Peace be upon you. I am no mercenary. Yeah, I know. He's just doing the be gone thing.
Mm-hmm. He's spitting his vitriol to the side.
Yeah.
Because he doesn't hate us that much. It's still a chip though.
Yeah.
We just brought up religion at the dinner table.
Yeah.
Pandora will pause long enough to either sort of like give him a nod or take his hand briefly and just quietly thank him for both his service and his willingness to share before she moves on.
He grabs your hand and holds it, and you can't break free as he pulls you close and he kind of pulls your hood off.
Pandora's eyes widen a bit, but she's not particularly trying to stop him.
Triss, seeing that, will immediately get adjacent to them both.
As soon as he kind of meets your eyes, pulling the hood off, his grip lessens, but you feel the shakiness in his hands as he steps back. And you just see that he goes back to his post. But he makes sure to not give eye contact to any of you.
Pandora will step back and just nod again and then move on with everybody else.
Once we move away a bit, I say, the one guard that spoke to us first, he knows more than he lets on. Whether that's because he understands the histories or was there himself, I do not know.
He looked to be like early 20s at best, if not younger.
Yeah, he looked to me. I know.
But this just give you it's really hard to see because they wear hoods and stuff, and some of them have masks up. But yeah, like as you prolong the conversation, you're able to kind of suss that out by his tone and everything. But yeah, you continue going back to thing, and because and you can get to the manor within the hour, so no more rolls, but you're able to get to the manor in due time.
Okay.
But you can keep your conversation going. I'm just letting you know, like you have free reign.
Okay. Yeah, I suspect that there's more going on in the Hooded Lantern now than I had originally thought.
I mean, it could also just be that they feel betrayed by having been abandoned. Like, I don't think you're going to find that attitude of derision towards divinity is going to be uncommon. But with the sort of hardships that everyone's been through, I can't even blame them. Like, there's got to be people...
I don't blame them, but I also know that there are devils and demons who will sow dissent. They thrive off it, in fact. And I'm not saying that this is a plot, but I do think we need to exercise a tiny bit more caution when dealing with the Hooded Lanterns.
I guess.
As for the other...
They're the one group I don't really feel that much dissonance with. Like, their goals are to keep everybody safe and stop this all from being a threat. Everybody else has some kind of ulterior motive that clearly could compromise their values, but the Hooded Lanterns are the one group I don't feel have that.
As long as they keep doing their job, their faith is their own, angel or demon. And if they're dumb enough to try to sabotage something, guess what? We're here to cut that shit out.
You are right. They are interested in securing this area. What that means, though, I don't think even they know.
How are you to know? Given
I
the
do
fact
fear...
that it's not a matter of just cleaning up a slum or two. This is an entire city. Nearly turned to rubble and still pulsing with the goddamn thing that slammed it all in the first place.
Listen, it's simple. We just get every scrap of delirium in the same place and then shove one bag of holding in another. Problem solved.
The Civil Order certainly would agree with that.
Assuming whatever magical singularity that happens does not bring the delirium back to its original spawner.
No, it would cause a massive hole that sucks in a great deal of things around, though. If you wish to follow in the path of the Civil Order and my brothers and sisters, that is one potential way of doing it.
I was drastically oversimplifying for what I hope was going to be
for
comedic
levity's
purposes.
sake, and
yeah.
I mean, I have the sense of humor. I have the sense of humor of a brick. Like, I know this.
I sensed you were trying to be humorous, but I didn't see the humor. My mistake.
Yeah, it's fine. It was a stretch.
But nonetheless, the first god does leave me a bit curious, though the second one brings up an interesting point considering what he did before we left. Pandora,
Yeah,
do you have any intentions for this place?
I mean, like I said, they align pretty much with the Hooded Lanterns. I just want people to be safe again.
I sympathize, but I mean more along the lines of your potential noble heritage or royal heritage.
If it can be leveraged to bring people together to bring this place to peace and order, I mean, I'm not above using that.
I believe it can, but it will involve the meeting you are not particularly happy with.
Probably several.
Question is, longer term here. Are you and Eliza willing to bear the weight of the crown? Because I understand, yes, the queen yet lives. But, that's subjective. Let's be fair here. She is mutated, delusional, and even if we are to potentially cure her, might be irreparably damaged.
From what I've seen, I'm worried that her corruption is at the point where even if we were to bring the rod to bear, I think that the exhaustion alone would kill her.
I agree. Until a more advanced solution can be discovered, at this point in time, the Queen is truly beyond us in terms of redemption. It is a potential piece we can use to maybe negotiate something, but Pandora, you offer currently the only real alternative that I see.
Yeah, that's kind of what I was kind of seeing. Honestly, it's why I was so hesitant to put everybody in the exact same room. I'm concerned that pushing everybody into such close proximity is liable to inflame standing tensions before we can reach any kind of meaningful progress.
Unless we can provide them with a solution.
Do you have
Again.
a solution on hand?
That's fair, Pandora. That's absolutely fair, and well, you know me. I'm not particularly forward-thinking, but getting everybody to sit down and talk shows who's willing to compromise, who's not. For those who aren't willing to compromise, which half can we expunge for a greater whole?
Suppose it's not about that attack isn't particularly ill-sighted. It's just
You wished my words and my actions did not separate for a critical instant.
I wish I didn't feel like we were setting somebody up for a tragedy. And it's even more uncomfortable not knowing who it's going to be.
I agree, but unfortunately, the groups themselves leave us with very little option.
Look, I'll be honest. If we wanted to orchestrate a happy ending, I'd sacrifice the Queensman. But can't necessarily do that at the moment. Also, not sorry for saying that, Sable.
I honestly feel like and this is going to sound weird, but I think their venality is actually going to be one of the things that will make them the most likely to work with the other groups. Like, as long as they're getting paid, I feel like they're likely going to, put themselves to whatever tasks are set before them. What I don't, the group that I don't trust to work with anybody else is the Silver Order.
I'm of a similar mind, unfortunately. But with regards to the Queensmen, they are potentially a part of the solution, but they can be part of the problem, and they surely are not the only meaningful alternative at this
Silver Order will be stubborn, from what I gathered. Their main center of faith is both bureaucratic and faithful, so they're stagnant in two different ends.
That isn't faithful. That is dogmatic, and there is a difference, as I hope I've shown.
All right, so they're both bureaucratic and dogmatic.
Same thought, different words for it.
If I may point out something.
Well, let's be fair.
Why not?
Let's be fair, there is a difference between a cut, a gash, a gouge, and a sever. But I will concede Pandora. The Silver Order are going to be the hardest sons of bitches to get thinking straight. But not only is the current High Flamekeeper Ophelia the successor to Flamekeeper that now leads the Fallen Fire, she is gentle, wise, and willing to hear the Fallen Fire out. And if we need the Fallen Fire and the Silver Order to work together, I do have a plan.
Is it one you're going to share this time?
Yes, because it is a long-term plan and potentially very, very off target. But they claim the Fallen Fire went off with basically a Saint's artifact, a divine item of the Silver Order that Lucretia absconded with before the meteor fell, and it's now within her possession. If we can get the Silver Order and Lucretia to talk, to perhaps exchange the holy item in some sort of truce, that'd be the best way to go about it. And I do have an idea for the staging grounds. The clock tower. We could have that as a base of operations in the inner city and a monitored neutral ground for everyone to congregate and plan.
I agree with your assessment of the clock tower, but I disagree with your assessment about the holy relic. I doubt that either one would be fully willing to give that up. However, I do think we could potentially utilize it in a similar manner, and that is potentially as a holy item for both orders, and a place that they can share. The idea is we want to heal the schism, and so far the main concern with that is the lack of access. If it can be secured and offer safe access to both the Falling Fire and the Silver Order, then that could serve as a remedy for them. Unfortunately, there's another matter of concern, and that is the Silver Order's remedy regarding delirium and those utilizing it for one means or another. The simple fact of the matter is they're likely to wait for orders before they change any of their strategy with regards to delirium. And so they'll be acting under the current orders, which is destruction.
But again, that's the greater order, which is an entire fourth of this goddamn continent.
Indeed.
I'm talking about Ophelia. I'm talking about. Let me reference names. I'm talking about Theodore Marshall. I'm talking about the 500 men and women that are here. The order itself does not need to change shit. What we need to get through what we need to get through the order's heads here is that this is something they need to make a temporary ally to push forward with.
I agree. I'm simply saying that is the difficult one, the truly difficult. Schisms can be mended or furthered, but when they are set on their hatred and disgust of one thing, that is very hard to overcome.
You think I don't bloody know that? You want to know how many Inquisitors walked up to me thinking they're going to take me home as a mantelpiece?
I imagine more than 10.
I just switched this map so you can show perspective of where the Silver Order come from compared to where Drakenheim is.
Yes.
Because Lumen's right there.
Yep. Yeah. 280 kilometers. I didn't bother. Yeah, it's kilometers on this map.
I completely forgot we had the bandits that we. I don't think we dealt with per se.
Yeah,
when we're
they've
going
been
into
thrown on
Emberwood.
that back burner for reasons.
Every 15 feet is 280 kilometers.
Yeah, that's a lot.
So they traveled a long way.
Regardless.
But yes, what the plan I was thinking more is that they need something to rally behind, something familiar. For this, I think Pandora and her plan to acquire the artifacts actually proves to be quite unique in this utility. If we could get an operating government within the region that is already respected, I think we can offer a forum for discussion and conflict resolution. And if we can get them to work together enough, then perhaps we can avoid greater conflict even in the moment we deal with outbursts, if you will. But this has to come from you, Pandora. It can't come from me.
No, I don't imagine it could. No, it sounds about right to me. I'd be willing to broach the topic. We can see what they say.
Very well.
Shall we offload our current task before we start brainstorming the next?
Of course.
Yep. City's been relatively quiet.
For now.
Anyway, we go up to Reed Manor.
Yep.
Yep.
You can make it to Reed Manor without any issue after getting into the more open area. Even better for the horses. And you make your way towards the lovely Reed Manor. And you're greeted with the familiar oaf that stands guard. Business. And he very well. He walks next to knock, and you're greeted by one of the apprentices as they're like, "You know the drill. Over to the dining room."
Yeah.
Thank you.
And you're ushered in, and soon after you hear the heavy footfalls as Oscar comes in. "Ah, friends! Welcome back!" And he has the biggest smile on his face. "I have to say, it was most successful. I was able to produce something that should be quite effective for you lot. Of course, I haven't been able to do any testing, so it will be trial by error. But as he pulls out this, what looks to be like a wooden case, as he opens it, and what looks to be a syringe with what looks to be a vial next to it. You have to inject this into one's body, but this should allow at least one expedition within Drakenheim to go out without any worry of the nasties of the corruption."
Interesting. Thank you.
No matter how potent.
And you do see that the bright orange fluid seems to be stored within this vial.
Hmm.
Now, I will say, in order for this to be most effective, you will have to insert this and inject it into your heart.
That's
Oh.
quite the request. You do realize that if there's even a slight miscalculation, then the results could be quite fatal.
My research is limited to what I know, but best I can tell, injecting it into the heart allows the protection of it to be at its maximum velocity within the body.
And
I see.
also, to be fair, normally such a, shall we say, twitch of the finger would be catastrophic. However, you can heal, points towards Mara. You can heal, points towards Pandora. And you can heal if you're feeling like it, points towards Vichka.
I'm
Well-
more referencing the fatal part. Specifically, do you happen to have a 300 GP diamond on you?
Well, if I recall, you told me that you are a physician. You know exactly
am.
how to administer all things, so you should be able to administer this not to say antidote, but this
Vaccine,
I guess vaccine
essentially.
would be the most applicable to your comrades or to yourself. There is only one dose here, so only one of you will be able to know if the effects are true or not. Again,
Well,
if you
keep
can
it for
acquire
now,
more
but-
lilies, I could hopefully do more.
You know that deal about sharing research that I mentioned?
Yes, I provided information about my knowledge of delirium as requested.
Yes, and that's fine, but there's an opportunity that has arisen. We are going to be hosting a meeting in Emberwood soon at the Druid's Grotto. Would you or one of your attendants be capable of attending?
We have a busy lineup of potions to craft, and my research is never ending. I won't have time for such frivolous meetings with people that I don't care for.
I understand, but this could be important, especially as it pertains to the fate of delirium and how it's currently being utilized.
There's delirium all over the place. I know that the Silver Order claims that they are going to destroy all delirium, but that'll take forever, and by that time my research should be complete.
The dwarves are currently mining a considerable amount of delirium, and the Amethyst Academy is looking to claim all delirium within the city. Furthermore, the Falling Fire
Of course they are.
wishes to utilize delirium for their religious rituals, specifically as it pertains to, well, effectively permanently curing them of corruption. And of course, the Hooded Lanterns and the Queensmen only care about how it benefits them. The Hooded Lanterns looking for weapons from the dwarves, and the Queensmen looking to get a share of the profits.
All that matters to me is perfecting my research.
However, if we can arrange for a permanent agreement, or at least permanent enough, as all things considered with these groups, perhaps you could gain a more considerable research agreement with the Amethyst Academy.
I
Something
told
that
you
benefits both.
that I have no desire to work with the Academy. I can't be bothered with their standards of ethics and morality.
If I may, Oscar, this might be an oddball answer. Have you ever studied the effects of delirium shards being embedded into the skin of someone?
Prolonged contact with delirium to those who have not been able to be shown immunity will slowly but surely cause mutations to fester and the inevitability of them being transformed into the monstrous things that lurk within the shadows of Drakenheim.
Well, a particular. Would you say indoctrination method? Looks towards Mara.
No, induction would probably be better.
Either way, a particular quirk about the Fallen Fire is that they seemingly embed crystals of delirium into their chest.
Oh,
And
they're
render
right
them
mad,
mute?
aren't they, then?
No, they render them harmless. The crystals that are embedded no longer corrupt them or anyone around them.
Are you so certain that that's the truth of the matter?
I am.
We went to that. We went to basically their holy site, the monastery up near the southern gate. And yeah,
Who's
it's
to
either
say what
r-
is hidden within that?
Which
who's
is
to
why I would
say,
like you to study it.
it makes
You
for an
expect... Yes, Lana.
makes for an interesting question, doesn't it? Are
It-
they merely deluding themselves, or is there some merit to whatever they do?
You,
Interesting thing to study, wouldn't it?
it would be, but you forget the Fallen Fire are quite particular with their faith, and I don't think they would appreciate somebody who to prod them and poke them. Not to mention my
No, but you could
use
observe
of
them for longer
delirium
periods
is
of time.
probably frowned upon by those who see it as a holy relic.
How
Hmm.
do you use delirium, if I may ask?
I've broken delirium up into dust to see the effects of that. I've seen if I can melt it down, see if I can turn it into liquid. I've tried all sorts of experimentations to see exactly what this delirium is fully is.
And has your studies ever caused the delirium to go outside the grounds of Drakenheim?
My lab is here.
So that's no.
No.
That.
However,
So,
I will say there is in the grapevine, especially that's within the Amos Academy, rumors has it that delirium, or something that remarkably sounds like delirium, was in their possession before the meteor.
Are you sure of this? And this is not just mere rumor.
Well, I myself am not able to confirm or deny it. But there was a time when I was in the academy before I was run off.
so it's possible, but not something we should take as fact.
Exactly. But you have to ask the question, if that is true, what else does the academy have going on that has not been shared?
Probably a great deal, but I know River is working on some sort of protection ward. And so I would like it at least you worked directly with her. She doesn't seem to be particularly bothered by things. She merely wishes to conduct her research as well.
You realize that there's been a few exchanges, and each time there's pestering for more of my research.
I understand, and that's because they want to know more.
Yes, they want
And
to
if
know
a
my life's
agreement-
work, and they don't care about my existence in the matter. They'll take my research, claim it as their own, and use it for whatever purpose they have.
Which is why if you worked with them, perhaps you could make sure they don't do that, especially if it's under agreement involving multiple parties.
How long till the mages get fed up with such an argument? It's such a order that they just decide, you know what? Never mind, we're more powerful.
I just have to say that with such untapped potential magic in the air as it is Drakenheim, a breeding ground for those who wish to experiment and learn and fester power,
You're absolutely right. Which is why you should consider yourself lucky that I'm even willing to consider letting you continue research.
Mara!
Is it not true? He just pointed out the dangers so aptly.
Yes, but we
you
have
do
a
not
good
you
agreement. I said you bring me supplies, I provide you with resources. It's a mutual symbiotic relationship we have.
Alright,
Or not.
we could keep that agreement, but I would request you at least have a dialogue or two with someone from the Fallen Fire. You might be surprised if it's an acolyte, you could just get a yes or no to see if they agree or disagree with your research before you get a zealot in your house. Just saying.
On the important matter, though, please do report the full effects of that vaccine. And I do recommend that if you want to see the validity of it, it'd probably be most effective if you wander into the more thicker of fogs.
Deep,
the one around the crater, you mean?
The crater, or back to where you found the lilies, or even if you happen to be brave souls that want to go say hi to the kin that has fallen. I do not care where you go, but the more I know about the effects, how long it lasts, and all of that, it helps my research all the same.
Understandable.
That being said, until you return back with more research materials, this concludes our business. And no, I will not be attending that meeting, but I am keen to hear how you resolve such a risky endeavor. And
wait, who mentioned the round table to him?
you said a meeting.
Yeah, I mentioned
no,
a meeting.
I was talking about like a personal meeting. Like he has a dialogue between like a follower of the Fallen Flame, not to the whole big hubbubaloo we're about to do.
I invited him to that meeting because I would like him to participate.
Okay, fair enough.
You may rest here as long as you may, as long as you don't wander into the bedrooms, private quarters. But be off when you feel rested. I will go back to my research now.
Appreciate the offer, but we've got somewhere else to be, and we kind of got to circumvent the entire city to get there.
Fair enough. Have a grandiose day, friends.
You as well. I hope your research treats you well.
And he'll wander off, but you do have one use of Aqua Expurgio. And unless you cast Identify on it, you'd know that ejected in the heart, and it should help you with the contamination. But yeah, you have that now added to one of you can carry that around. But yeah.
I'll carry it since I will be the one administering it, considering its nature.
Yep.
Makes sense.
I kind of like that it's just not just drink here. I kind of like that, you know. But yep.
As we get outside, Pandora is going to stop once we're like just beyond the bounds of his property. Tizamara, can we speak?
Very well.
I appreciate the zeal you have for ensuring that your vision of how things ought to be becomes reality. I do need to point out that if you are as behind the idea of trying to unite people to help rebuild Drakenheim as you seem to be, then I'm going to need to ask you to be less inflammatory. You are very quick to lead to statements that at the very least seem like a threat. And that makes any kind of diplomacy very difficult.
I'm trying to bring back the world that Galt had built. Galt, Lady Aurelia, the others. As for my behavior, I admit that I am not always the best at communicating. But I also would state that I was never meant to. I'm just trying to make the best of a terrible situation.
I believe you. I do not believe that you are intentionally attempting to make it seem as though you intend harm. But when it comes to negotiations like this, it is very common for things to be veiled. And so when you say things like that, what happens is those who are used to playing the game, they're going to hear a knife behind your words when there may not be one. And that is going to make it very difficult to rally support from the more savvy politicians and especially those with any kind of foot in the underworld. They are going to hear knives behind words that don't have any, and that's exactly the sort of person who will dig their heels in and refuse to engage out of either suspicion or sheer stubbornness.
Yes, and May, there is the fact that I do want him to remember that there is a great deal at risk, and I am willing to resort to a great deal. Whether that be violence or not is entirely his choice. But I don't necessarily trust him either. Or should I trust someone who would greedily keep the secrets of the magic he is learning, especially when that magic is so volatile?
My concern is that you seem to get very caught up in the individual circumstances without regard for how it could affect the attempt to restore Drakenheim as a whole. As such, all it would take is one individual within each group who doesn't live up to your expectations, and we are going to get a reputation with all of the different organizations of being brutes who cannot be trusted to do anything but attempt to enforce our will with violence.
That is...
Weren't we to the side, or were we doing this in front of them?
Oh no, you guys left at this point. I will say, yeah, I will say that these are.
I should ask before I open my mouth. Is this a conversation we can jump into, or do you want to keep that between you two?
No, she's not trying to keep it private. Like we had talked about trying to do the whole leveraging Pandora's heritage. We had talked about that as a group, and she's making the point that if we go around making threats of violence willy-nilly to anybody we disagree with, all it's going to take is one person in each group we don't agree with, and all of the different groups are going to see us as violent brutes.
I can't help if they see me as a violent brute. I can help, though, if they are intending to utilize this information.
We could be seen as abrasive but not violent if we refuse to draw swords over words.
I mean, there is a way of saying things
And I
that
admit,
won't come off as aggressive or anything like that.
And I admit I am not the best with words.
You guys never actually looked at the research he gave River, right? You never looked at the actual notes.
My character wouldn't have understood it, so nope.
Not as far as I'm aware.
Just double checking, make sure you didn't you're not information you might had or not. So just keep track of things. Keep going.
Yeah.
And I get that you don't have to be good at everything. Like there's a reason that there are diplomats and politicians who are especially good at conducting those sort of conversations. Like, to be completely blunt, that is a game that I spent longer than I care to talk about playing in the Feywild. I have had more experience in more cutthroat courts than I care to name. And I would be more than happy to handle those conversations. But if they are going to end up, if you are going to feel compelled to remind people that you are willing to do violence every time that they say something that doesn't live up to your admittedly particularly high standards, then it is going to be very difficult to do business on any grounds besides who we can violently force to listen.
Very well. I will leave it to you, and if there are any concerns I have, I'll bring it up to you.
Absolutely. I would be more than happy to address those concerns. And we may be well able to find ways to ensure that what you need done gets done anyway, without making people feel like they're doing it at sword.
As you're conversating a little bit of ways from the Raid Manor, you do see coming through the fog a couple of green cloaks.
Interesting.
But we only do business with them.
Yeah, they seem to be coming from a northern pass.
Very interesting.
Northern path?
Yep.
Oh, I didn't know there was a northern path to reach this place.
Well, it's just that they're not coming from the south where you came from. Like they're coming from a different direction. But yeah, you see what looks to be a couple, and then you realize that the fog's just masking. There's a what looks to be a patrol that seem to be walking around. They're a little bit of ways away from you guys, but you do see them.
Curious to see a hooded lantern patrol so far north.
And coming from the north, nonetheless.
Indeed.
Do you think there's a way around the city?
Perhaps we should investigate.
I certainly would like to ask.
Then either way, a wise diplomat.
Pandora laughs and starts towards the Green Cloak Patrol.
All right, you head to the group, and you do see just seeing if there's any of the example NPCs that could fit this. Yeah, you come across and you do see what looks to be a patch of humans and a halfling that are part of this patrol. As you walk closer, and you see that they have their bows at the ready. Some of them are holding ready to draw their swords. As you get closer, they're quick to react, but the one in front holds up their hand. You are the mercenary group that has aided the Hooded Lanterns of recent matters, correct?
We are. I'm grateful you recognized us.
States your business that you over here.
We were doing business with the alchemist. Honestly, the only reason I wanted to speak to you about
okay.
Sorry, I didn't mean to concern you. Honestly, I was just curious. Is there a route around the north edge of the city, or are you just patrolling the roads out this way?
No, we are sent to there's always a group of us that patrols around the manor ever since the deal of continuation of potions has been resolved.
Ah, okay. Understood. I was hopeful for a moment. We had at one point considered trying to pass through the woods north of the city. We thought better of it, but seeing you come south from this far north made me hopeful is all.
The woods are quite perilous, and though we've been able to quell some beast within the city, nobody has traveled into the woods, so whatever hides within those saddles are probably some gruesome individuals. there's also tales of some haunting sounds that come within the forest. A few have
Probably
tried to travel there, but we have never seen any return. I would not recommend it. But of course, you have proven yourselves quite capable. Perhaps you can slay whatever beasts are within. But I do warn you that whatever is in there, well, let's just say that the the one person who managed to break through the forest one last time before collapsing spoke of some goat-like creature seemed to spoke to them, promised them an escape from all this madness.
Oh,
And
that
well,
sounds all kinds of suspicious.
considering that they did escape life itself as they soon perished,
Oh no.
there's also the giants that are known to exist in the northern parts of these lands that might be nearby.
Oh, that's exactly what I was hoping to encounter today, was a mutated giant. That just sounds wonderful.
So, I'd say be cautious.
Yeah, no, the roads sound like a much better idea. I appreciate the saving us the trouble of finding out ourselves.
And I do urge you to avoid the full moons, because let's just say the howls within the forest seem to be a little bit more strong during the full moon.
Ah, yes, I imagine they would. Well, we have rather a lot of southward journey ahead of us. We will leave you to your patrols. I hope that they are as uneventful as possible.
Oh yeah, they tend to be. Not much seems to linger. The occasional starved creature comes around. We've had to slay a few wolves that came around, but they're so malnourished you can see the ribs through their skin.
I see. Well, hopefully that's as bad as it gets. Safe travels.
Take care, friends.
Pandora heads back to everybody else in size. Well, nope, there's no way around the city to the north except the forest. And the forest is probably even worse than we knew. There's been all sorts of sightings. And also, here's something I didn't know. I bet Trislana knew. There's giants. Because that's what we need. Tentacle zombie giants.
Thank you for putting that image in my head.
You're welcome.
I did not think the giants would have progressed this far.
Well,
You do know that he said these are mostly rumors.
Right.
Pandora.
I mean, rumors are enough to keep me out of the forest.
Yeah, but just want to make that clear. Like, he did not say it with a certainty.
That's fine. Anyway, to buckle down row, shall we?
So how are we doing? Are you gonna try to follow the path close to the castle and go around that way to Buckle Down Road?
ooh.
Or are you gonna go through the
What's
outskirts?
our time right now? About 4 hours, I think?
5 hours.
5 hours? Okay. So we can probably expect about another 5 hours getting back to that area. Yeah, we've got plenty of time to get out of here before 24, so we can take the long way.
All right.
That
You,
and kind of a massive fuck off river.
Yeah. So we'll head back to our favorite bridge and head back across, I suppose.
are you still gonna use the horses to speed along?
I mean, it seems like a good idea to me.
Mine as well.
Yeah,
Also,
I mean, yeah.
gets us into the habit of using the horses while navigating through the ruins of the city.
Yeah.
Okie dokie. So you use the horses, and within the first hour, doing the D10s, you notice that the fog begins to lift and become purple mote lights as nightfall begins.
Yeah.
Neat. The D10.
Yep, it's a D10 because you're being a little bit more exposed with the horsies. Is that everybody? Mara, I need you to do D10.
Mara,
Stepped
And-
I
away.
think, it's stepped away.
Okay.
And Panda stepped away.
And Panda. Okay. Well, as you are traveling along, you do see that the night has broke out as the fog becomes wispy lights that dot the atmosphere, almost like beacons of light to guide you. They're not. They glow dimly, so they don't give off enough light to become like torches for you, but they're able to be kind of spotlight beacons through, say, like the fog, where you see the lights kind of in the distance to kind of give you some grasp of direction. And what you notice, Lana, as the fog lifts up in the sky, the moon itself half exposed.
Hmm. Do you remember if the moon was waxing or waning?
Well, you know that the full moon was recent.
That's true. So yeah.
To give you an idea, it's the left side of the moon that you see is exposed.
So I think that's waxing. Or waning.
Waning.
Wait.
Yeah. Waning
Yeah,
is
waxing
the
is on,
blades.
waning is off.
Yeah.
Right?
Yep. I need a D10 from you, Panda. But as the moonlight bounces off and you feel its presence, that hunger grows deep. And you feel that heartbeat still ever present. Boom, 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 boom.
Yeah, you will see Trislana just sort of squaring up her jaw and having that sort of annoyed growl in her throat.
All right.
You okay?
No, I am not okay. I salivated at the scent of carnage. I keep hearing the goddamn heartbeat in my ears. And now the moon's looking down, almost testing me.
And as Leah speaks to you, you can't help but hear their heartbeat. Boom, 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 boom. And you almost have to shake your head a little bit. It's as if the scent of their blood through their body you can see it coursed through their body.
Yeah. No, I am not okay.
What you mentioned a heartbeat. What heart are you hearing?
Thea's is
This
or
heart.
not Thea's. When Pandora speaks and you draw attention to them, there is an oddity with their heartbeat. It doesn't feel right. The rhythm is off. It's off kilter. It's unsettling. It's annoying. It's pesky. You can't. It just irritates you, grinds your teeth when you hear Pandora's heartbeat. Anger swells up inside of you when you hear it.
Yeah, it's like as soon as Triss makes eye contact and reaches for the pocket, her anger spikes as she goes, "This hot, her hot, you're hot. I can hear everyone's hot."
It seems your curse is worsening.
You don't say.
Maybe you should hand off the doll for the moment?
All right, little Miss Angel, you want some eldritch truths?
Silence, but
I'll certainly keep this away from you, yes.
Gently hands you the telltale heart, which, for context, is a wooden mannequin with a ruby gemstone embedded in its chest.
As you go to let go of it, the heartbeat picks up, and you almost hear the whispers of, "Are you sure?"
Yes, I'm fucking sure. If you're gonna keep thumping between my ears.
This point, I'm just grabbing it from her because I am really concerned for her now.
Alright, you let go of the heartbeat. And for a moment, there is silence.
Yeah, so Triss is gonna take a deep breath in.
But there's an eerie amount of silence.
Hello? It's like Triss will notice it and go, "Hello?
You don't hear yourself speak.
Hello? Hello?"
What do we see from her?
To your perspective, nothing happens.
Are you
Pandora
alright?
steps in front of Triss and waves and says, "Hello, yep, we can hear you."
You can see their mouths move, but you don't hear a sound.
Oh.
Oof.
Triss will deflate at that.
You got your wish.
Fucking asshole.
Careful what you wish for.
So, as you see
Yeah.
Trislana deflate, she'll just kind of fold her wolf ears in on themselves to convey, "Now I'm deaf."
I think Trislana's sad.
Perhaps I should burn this thing, considering it seems to be a blight upon this plane.
I think it has more to do with interacting with her own issues. Also, the magical component is the gem. I don't necessarily think damaging the doll is going to change much.
I'd be curious to see how a fire elemental handles it.
Triss will give some experimental sniffs. Can she
wait a
still
minute.
smell?
Wait a minute. I would like to try to cast Lesser Restoration. It can cure the deafened condition.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah? Do you cast it on Triss?
I certainly will.
Alright, you feel energy pulse through you. Boom 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 boom. A cacophony of heartbeats return.
Yeah, just like instantly.
What? Did it work?
It's almost hard to pick. Think of it like their voices are muffled, as if you're underwater as they speak because of the heartbeats that radiate. Boom, 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 boom.
That made it worse. Made so much worse.
Boom, 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 boom.
Maybe we better get her out of the city.
You hear the horse's
Yeah.
heartbeats, and now you feel your claws come out.
Oh boy.
You see their veins become to be exposed as Trislana is subconsciously getting different.
Triss, get a hold of yourself.
I'm gonna roll a wisdom save to see if I can.
Ooh.
Eh.
You're able to hold back, but the heartbeats, they're still present, but you're able to center yourself a little bit and kind of hold them at bay. You kind of drown out the noise, try to put it behind you. But as you center yourself, you close your eyes, you take the deep breaths, the heartbeats subside. But as you open your eyes again, right there in your face, standing in front of you, a wolf's face, snarling, crackling, blood dripping from their mouths, their eyes beet red, and their fur, white fur, beautiful coat, stained with blood throughout it, as it snarls and growls, and then it fades away.
But as soon as Triss sees it, she just yells out, "You wanna fucking go?" as she lunges for it as soon as it fades. Just sort of
Who was in front of
preening in the
you?
air before
It was
skipping
Pandora.
cover.
That would be Tismera, because I just took that doll from her.
No, I specifically got in her face when we realized she couldn't hear us.
Make an
I took
attack
the
roll
doll.
as you slash out at Pandora.
Oh, I'm going for a fucking tackle. Oh, but if you want it to be
Okay.
a slash DM,
I mean, you go to go to tackle Pandora. Go ahead.
just general arm strike. See what happens.
Pandora's able to just, do Pandora things.
Yeah, that weird combination of martial arts and just sheer dimensional fuckery just suddenly isn't in the way anymore. That is not getting a hold of yourself, Shazana. That's the opposite.
Okay.
Shazana, I said yourself. Get a hold of yourself. I am not yourself.
I was trying to, but it bitched out at the last second.
There was nothing there but Pandora.
The howl, a bestial howl, echoes throughout the ruins that you all can hear, bouncing off the walls.
Oh, that's
I missed.
probably not great.
Yeah, I think we should get out of the city.
I think that's a wonderful idea.
At this point, I'm in agreement.
If we start going east, we can at least get to the road to Camp Dawn.
Get towards it, yeah.
We fuck right out of this fucking city.
Let's get a move on before the wolf spirit comes fucking back.
Alright. We are leaving the city.
Make me one perception roll as you break away from the city. Lana. Lana.
Is Alicia out?
Yeah.
Alright. This is not affected by my super duper senses.
It's actually, you're hearing.
Oh, my hearing, which is going to be an 11.
There is something there, but you can't quite pick it up. You're too unfocused at the moment.
Mm-hmm. Adrenaline's pumping through my veins. I probably lightly hear
The
everyone's
wind just
heartbeat.
blows past your ears.
And let's not forget the chill
Oh yeah.
of just hanging around with the spectral little baby.
But you are able to break away and make it to Camp Dawn within an hour or two. And I think
Are we
that's a
going
good
all the
stopping
way, or-
point
Okay.
as you make your way to Camp Dawn.
Are we going all the way, or are we just going outside of it? City.
You literally have to go to Camp Dawn. It's like right on the outskirts of the haze.
Okay, I gotta see.
Yeah, we're
So,
going to go
like-
to Camp Dawn, and I have a solution
To what?
for Triss's thing.
Okay.
We would have to
Wait.
go to where we first fought the wolf spirit, because that is outside the city. It's far enough from any corruption, and just let Triss go hog wild.
Go.
I mean, so there's one problem with that. If we do that, then
Yep.
the nearest things that she could go hog wild on are still
more
going to be
horses.
us or the horses.
Well, that's why literally. That's what I'm saying. Like, be able to let Triss go hog wild away from us and the horses. We hang out in the tower we found before. Triss goes into the woods and does her thing.
I mean, here's the thing. Last time we barely got her through that. Like, her being off by herself is probably not a spectacular idea.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, it's that, or it's very prevalent that the wolf spirit is wanting out and to go hunt.
And you have a choice to make,
Olivia.
Lana. Do you try to conquer the wolf spirit or let it be free?
Oh. Well, given my stance, it's going to be controlling the fucking thing, because I don't know what's going to happen if I let it out.
Well,
But like letting it out from inside me, obviously, if we go full wolf and fucking tear shit up, might help.